Greetings. This is my Hola Mundo. Oh, fuck. Messing it up. This is like my 9th attempt. Hopefully the lighting is okay, but this is like my 9th attempt to make this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to make this video now. All the other videos I've made were either too long or people called me in between, and I finally figured put it on airplane mode so nobody bothers me, because I'm filming it off my camera, and then authenticity, so I do it all in one take. So here goes. This is a story on how I got searched in a restaurant. In the middle of a restaurant on top of that. So it was about a year ago, and my partner and I lived separately, and we were starting to meet each other's friends. We had been dating for a few months, and we were like, okay, well, it's time for us to meet each other's friends. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna change his friend's name just because I'm not gonna be shady. I'm gonna be polite. A lady. So his friend Dawn. So Dawn, right? I'm like, okay, cool, meet your friend. So fast forward, and I was off, he was off. We had lunch that day, earlier that day, because of someone making me have a bad gag reflux. I'm talking about the person upstairs, not like other stuff. Oh, that's horrible. But anyways, going on. I started like a year ago is when I started to have a bad gag reflex. Like, oh, like I could not eat too much. I could not eat like food, period. Like anyways, so I threw up earlier in the day. I wasn't feeling well, and I threw up right here in the car, like while I was driving, and I was just like, oh, like Exorcist style, like So anyway, so I wasn't feeling well, and I didn't have clothes with me, so I borrowed my partner's clothes, and he had recently lost a lot of weight, so it was like 4 sizes too big on the pants, and it was an oversized shirt, and I had my purse with me, and I was like, oh. So we went to No Promo. We went to this Tex-Mex chain restaurant here in Texas, and I love this place. I used to love this place religiously, been there so much. Anytime we do like an event for work, or like I would take people out or anything when they would visit me, back when I was in another town, I'd always take them here just because I loved it. Like, it's chain, but I still loved it no matter what. And I'd always bring it to work, even though I worked part of a restaurant, and it'd be like, okay, you know, this is what we're having. So anyways, we go and we get there, and there's like, it was raining outside, so like the day was already gloomy, and then on top of that, we had to wait in like 10-15 minutes, and then like Dawn was like, I don't understand why I have to wait, like it didn't even look that busy, they have open tables, yada yada yada. And I'm just like, that's not the way it works, dude. Like, restaurants, just because you see empty tables doesn't mean they have the staff to give you the service that they want to give you. So whatever, right? Well, we sit down and we're waiting a couple minutes, and he's being so like pretentious and just like obnoxious. I feel obnoxious. Like, I'm just like, I can't deal with, like, I know I can be over the top sometimes, but I like, sometimes I'm aware that sometimes I'm a personality, and I have to tone it down, I have to cut it back, and I have to just like not do it. And like, this is just who he was all the time though, and like, oh, blah 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 blah, like, where's our server, like, I'm thirsty, X, Y, and Z, I don't understand, why is it taking so long? And then like, when an attractive server would pass by, he'd be like, ooh, he is cute, and like say it so where like the person can hear. And it's just like, no, normally like I'm all for kicking and whatnot, but like on top of that, I wasn't feeling well, so I'm just like, I'm not feeling well, like I'm not due for theatrics on myself, so you know, whatever with that. So just like, so of course I wasn't feeling well, and then we finally get the server, and then we order our drinks, and it takes a few minutes, and then like these people are coming in, and like all of a sudden it's a man and a woman, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I lost my ring, and the hostess is like, what? Like, she's like, it fell, I wore it coming in, like I lost my ring. And so the hostess is like, okay, well, let's look. So they looked under their table, and then like we're just like looking, and like, okay, what's going on? Because I don't know if it's like the chismoso Latino in me or what, but I'm always aware of my surroundings. And actually, I'll take that back. Yes, I'm chismoso. Yes, I like to gossip, but also being a person of the LGBTQ community, like, you always watch your surroundings. If you go out in public, whether it's to the mall or anywhere, out to eat, you watch your surroundings, because sometimes you wonder, are you too you? Am I too not passable to to the outside world, to where I could be affected, where people will want to hurt me, where people want to say things about me, where people want to cause physical harm to me. Like, we already live in a world where, you know, if you go out and you're in fear of your children going to school, or yourself going to work, or something of that nature in a public place. This is what the LGBTQ community has been feeling since forever. Like, we have felt this way beyond the past 5 years, 10 years. We've felt this way for the past 50, 60 years, 70 years, since 1920s. I don't know, I can't say how long, but we've always felt this way. You know, are we too much open? Or are people going to call us out? Are people going to be rude and mean to us? Are they going to want to cause harm to us? So anyways, going to that, they were looking at the table, and the hostess was like, well, you know, if you got it insured, if it's like a wedding ring or whatnot, then, you know, you'll be fine. And the lady was like, no, like, that was an heirloom that was given to me from my grandmother, X, Y, and Z. And so, you know, the hostess, you know, they were looking around, and they were at a table next to us, and we were in the middle of the restaurant. And then the host was like, well, do y'all see anything? And we're like, no, we don't. And then, so, like, these spend like 10 minutes. And then, like, Dawn is over here like, well, if it's so important to her, like, if she would have got it insured, and if it was insured, then I don't understand what the big deal is. And he's not saying this to, like, to me and my partner. He's saying this out loud, to where, like, they can hear, like, legit. And I'm just like, oh, I can't deal with this. But anyways, so I was just like, oh my gosh, like, whatever. And so, like, then they finally get, like, because it's like 10-15 minutes that they're looking, and then the manager comes over to us, and he's like, hey, you know, do y'all mind if we look under the table? And we're just like, the hostess already asked us to move and, like, look, and we looked, and there's nothing under the table. We don't understand. And he's like, well, you know, yada yada yada. We're just like, Dawn is like, well, blah blah blah, like, if it's such a big deal, then I guess we can go ahead and do it. And he's being kind of rude about it, and I'm just like, I don't feel well, Sirop. I'm just trying to be here. I'm trying to get through this dinner, trying to meet my partner, trying to meet your friend. I'm trying. So, you know, we get up, and we're like, look, nothing's under the table, okay? So then they end up calling the police. The lady ends up calling the police, and the police end up coming to the middle of the restaurant. He's like, I don't know if y'all know what's going on, but we want to search y'all. I want to search y'all. Is it alright if, you know, she wants us to search y'all? And I'm just like, in the middle of the restaurant. So, Don's like, he's the one that's, like, just spearheading this thing for these people just, like, to not like us. And for whatever reason. So I don't know if they called the police because we're gay, or because it was me and my partner, like, two Latino guys next to them, because everyone else around them was they were white people. So I don't know exactly what it was, but, you know, they called the police, and we got searched. And, you know, he's searching me in the middle of the restaurant. They don't ask us. The manager doesn't come over at one point in time to ask us, hey, can we, you know, let us know what's going on? Nothing is happening. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing, like, this is humiliating. Because he then asked to, like, see my bag, and I'm like, in my purse, I already am, like, you're already calling me out for this, and then you're asking to see inside my bag. Okay, sure, I have nothing to hide. And, like, I wasn't feeling well once more, and so he's like, okay, you don't have anything. And then the motherfucking people are sitting across the restaurant looking at us like this. No, if you're being a bitch, I'm gonna call you a bitch. This bitch was like just looking at us, and it was so humiliating. And so, of course, we didn't have it, yada yada yada. We asked to speak with the manager so many times. The manager never comes over. So we're just like, the hostess comes over then, and then, like, people from the takeout station are like, you know, we're so sorry, you know, I can't believe this is happening. We really want to make it up to you, like, here's a tres leches cake. I'm so sorry about that. And I'm just like, tres leches, like, I may be Latino, but I do not like tres leches. Like, that is not my comfort food. If you want to give me something, give me some pecan pie. They don't have pecan pie there, but give me some pecan pie. Pecan pie is my fucking comfort food. Like, I will eat that shit up like it's nobody's business. And I was just like, oh. Anyways, I digress. And so the manager, like, they give us that, and the manager never comes over, and then he, like, finally comes over, and, like, we were like, we pay, and he's like, so they asked he says they asked, but later we find out that he called the police because they asked him to, but he says that they called the police, and he doesn't ask, like, to come to say, he doesn't even apologize and say, I'm sorry. So we call the next day, I tell my mom, we tell my partner's family, and they call the restaurant, and they're, like, complaining, and we call They call their corporate. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, honestly, I don't like to complain as much as I'm complaining now. I don't like to complain. And, you know, they're calling and they're like, you know, we're sorry. They took the wrong steps and processes. That's not what we're supposed to do. And like, all my jobs have been for corporations. So I know, like, there's always certain policies and procedures that they can and can't do, but even like that, there's guidelines on what happens in a certain way. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing and it's humiliating. And like, I cried, like after that, I cried to my partner and he was like, I couldn't protect you. And I'm like, for me, it's not even beyond that. Like, my partner was upset because he didn't know, was it because we were Latino, because we were gay, because it's a mixture? Like, why did the lady call the police? Like, why did she feel that we had it? Side note, they found that fucking ring because a busboy found it on the other side of the restaurant. So it fell, yes, but it fell on the other side of the restaurant. So she called the police for no reason. But even at that, like, I told him, like, for me, like, yeah, I carry on a purse, but I wasn't feeling good. I threw up earlier in the day. On top of that, like, I was wearing your clothes. Like, I didn't feel comfortable with my own skin. And then, like, this is humiliating. Like, I know I carry a purse around, and I don't carry a purse around to show everyone, like, hey, look, I'm gay. Like, hey, look, I'm better than you. No, like, I carry a purse around because I like carrying a purse around, because I carry it for the reasons obviously I do. So just aside from that, you know, the side note, it was so humiliating. And that's like, we got searched. Like, they ended up comping our meal. They gave us like a meal for 6, and I have not been back since then. And this has happened over a year ago. And I used to go to this place, like I said, religiously, and it was just so humiliating. And so, like, just, it's one of those, like, what would you do situations, and it was a real life what would you do situation. And no one had, you know, the people in our table next to us were like, oh, you know, why? I was like, why are they not asking you, why are you searching no one else around us? Like, there are other people who are around the tables that could have been, you know, searched. They could have taken the ring, obviously they didn't, but it was just one of those things that nobody said anything. And if they did, they didn't verbally say anything, send out while the police were there, while I was there, while it was it was in a public setting. Like, nobody came out. And for me, it wasn't even really that. It was just the fact of the steps. Like, if the officer would have asked us to pull aside, if the manager would have let us know what was going on, like, it would have been so much better. But the reality of it is that, you know, while yes, I did get searched, I don't know why I got searched, why we got searched. This is what LGBTQ people are still dealing with. While you may be currently afraid of guns and whatever fears you may have, like, we have this fear of going into public settings. Like, we don't search for passability. Like, that's, while some people do, that's not my goal. It's not to be passable. It's for me to be myself in my truest, authentic way. And I'm not looking for passability. I'm looking to be me. But anywhere I go in public, like, not just because of that, but even more so, I search my surroundings, not to be chismoso, but am I going to be safe? Am I going to be okay? But this video is already longer than what I was expecting. Thank you for listening. That's the story of how it was possible. I hope you laughed. I hope I shared a little bit more intimate details about my personal life. Feel free to leave questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, reactions, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But don't be afraid to be your truest, authentic self, no matter what, no matter who or how that may be. And I know that's hypocritical, because I was like, I don't like Dawn, but nevertheless, be yourself. Just don't be rude, abrupt, cocky little bitch about it. But thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing this part of your day with me. Bye.